Simon Armitage was born in 1963. He is currently Poet Laureate and is Professor of Poetry at the University of Leeds. Armitage was born in Huddersfield and grew up in a small village called Marsden. Both of these places are in Yorkshire. Lots of his poems concern his hometown, and he has even written a collection of poems called Magnetic Field, the Marsden Poems. Armitage has a background in social work and had worked for the probation service. One of the main jobs of a probation officer is to supervise people that have come out of prison and help them to not re-offend. Therefore, it is likely that Armitage had met many people that had ended up on the wrong side of the law as a result of some circumstances that were beyond their control. For example, suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder or other undiagnosed conditions after serving in the military. Armitage wrote a collection of poems that were first used in a TV documentary that aired in 2007 called The Not Dead. These poems were then collated and published in a book of the same name. The poems deal with the aftermath of war on ex-soldiers and their families as they try to settle back into civilian life. Whilst these poems do not necessarily relate to one specific event or particular soldier, they are based on events that the various ex-soldiers told Armitage about when he interviewed them. In Remains, during the TV documentary, the poem is read by an ex-soldier called Guardsman Tromans. He states that he was born just before the Falklands War and fought in Iraq in 2003. This means that he was about 21 years old in 2003 and about 27 when The Not Dead aired on TV. The poem deals with how, having shot a man looting a bank when on patrol, he is haunted with visions of his death and how the body was treated in a barbaric manner as it was transported away. However, the most significant thing to remember here is that even though the event happened approximately 4 years from the time that Guardsman Tromans is recounting it, what remains from this event is his memory of it, which invade every part of his civilian life. He suffers flashbacks and abuses drugs and alcohol in an attempt to escape his memory of what happened. There are 9 poems in total in the Not Dead collection, each poem dealing with the suffering of individuals having taken part in conflict. Therefore, in many ways, it could be argued that the lack of significance placed on the aftercare for such soldiers when they leave the battlefield is the most important message here. Whilst Troman's experiences are tragic and his brushes with the law for fighting and drunkenness are unfortunate in and of themselves, what is worse is that there are numerous nameless ex-soldiers who return home mentally scarred, ignored by society and expected to cope.